Every time you stand at the pump and squeeze the handle for those extra few clicks after the automatic shutoff, you think you are getting more mileage for your money. But the engineering reality is that you are likely paying for fuel that never enters your tank and simultaneously subsidizing the slow death of your vehicle's emission system. You have been trained to believe that premium fuel is a vitamin for your engine and that idling your car in the driveway is a sign of a responsible owner, yet these habits are nothing more than a silent tax on your ignorance, designed to pad the profits of gas stations while draining your bank account through mechanical sabotage and marketing myths. This is the system behind the struggle, a world where your comfort is sold back to you at a 30% markup, and the only way to win is to stop acting like a consumer and start acting like an engineer. The average American driver wastes up to 30% more fuel every year simply because they follow habits they were conditioned into by a system that prioritizes convenience over physics. We are taught that aggressive driving is just part of the hustle, yet the U.S. Department of Energy proves that hard acceleration and sudden braking cut your fuel economy by 15% to 30% while saving a pathetic average of only 26 seconds on a typical commute. Gas stations love this shuffling behavior because every abrupt launch forces the engine to demand a rich fuel-air mixture, burning money at an exponential rate compared to a calm, predictable flow. While you are racing to the next red light, you are ignoring the Japanese method of anticipation, the art of looking 15 seconds ahead to manage inertia. Every time you come to a complete stop, instead of coasting, you are forced to inject an extra 100 to 150 milliliters of fuel just to overcome the inertia of rest. The system doesn't want you to use the car's momentum. It wants you to use the brakes because brakes turn your expensive kinetic energy into wasted heat, forcing you back to the pump sooner. Then there is the great premium gas scam, an upsell that gas stations guard with religious fervor. Unless your owner's manual explicitly states premium required, paying for higher octane is essentially a voluntary tip to the oil company. The American Automobile Association, AAA, found no measurable improvement in performance, economy, or engine longevity for cars that only recommend or don't mention premium fuel. High octane is not cleaner or more powerful. It is simply a chemical resistance to engine knock in high compression engines. By chasing a benefit that doesn't exist, you are losing hundreds of dollars a year to a label that sounds safer but serves only to resist detonation that your engine was never designed to produce in the first place. The sabotage continues under your hood through neglected electrical systems. In the United States, we are conditioned to ignore the car until a warning light appears. But your budget is bleeding through faulty sensors long before the check engine light flickers. A malfunctioning oxygen sensor or dirty mass airflow sensor sends incorrect data to the ECU, causing the engine to run rich, burning more fuel than necessary to compensate for bad data. Furthermore, your alternator is a hidden parasite. Onboard electricity is 4 times more expensive than home electricity because the conversion of fuel to mechanical energy to electricity is only 21% efficient. Running every heater, seat warmer, and accessory without a second thought puts a mechanical load on the engine that you pay for in gallons. In places like New Zealand, regular electrical diagnostics are standard to prevent sea air corrosion from ruining sensor accuracy. But in the US, we wait for the failure, allowing the system to quietly drain 20% of our efficiency through oxidized connections and underperforming batteries. We have also been lied to about the warm-up. The myth that a car needs to idle for 10 minutes in the winter is a relic of the carburetor era. Modern fuel-injected engines stabilize in seconds and warm up twice as fast under a light load while driving. Idling not only burns a quarter to a half gallon of fuel per hour for 0 miles of travel, but it also causes the engine to run rich, leading to carbon buildup on your spark plugs and the premature death of your $1,000 catalytic converter. Every 10 seconds of idling uses more fuel than restarting the engine, yet we sit in parking lots scrolling through phones while our engines slowly choke on their own deposits. The mechanical reality of your car is further compromised by the aerodynamic tax we refuse to pay attention to. We leave roof racks on our vehicles because they are convenient. Yet an empty roof rack can disrupt airflow so severely that it reduces fuel efficiency by 10% to 25% at highway speeds. In the United States alone, empty roof racks are responsible for wasting over 100 million gallons of fuel annually. Similarly, driving with windows open at speeds above 55 mph creates a parachute effect, increasing drag by up to 8%, making the air conditioner, a known fuel hog in the city, actually the more efficient choice on the interstate. Even your tires are part of this silent robbery. Most drivers wait for the tire pressure monitoring system, TPMS light, to come on, but that light often doesn't trigger until pressure is 25% below the recommended level. By then, you've already been losing 3% to 5% of your fuel economy for months because underinflated tires increase rolling resistance. The engine has to work harder just to keep the car rolling, effectively turning your tires into anchors. This leads us to a brutal dilemma: efficiency versus convenience. On one side, you have the marketing comfort model, the one where you drive aggressively to feel fast, idle your car to feel warm, and buy premium gas to feel safe. On the other side is engineering reality, which demands the discipline to check your PSI monthly, the foresight to remove that unused roof rack, and the technical understanding that your extra clicks at the pump are a financial disaster. You're forced to choose. Are you a consumer who believes the commercials, or are you an operator who respects the physics of the machine? The final reveal is the secret gas stations guard most closely because it hits their bottom line directly. In many U.S. gas stations, the pumps are equipped with vapor recovery systems. When you try to top off your tank after the first click, you're often forcing fuel into the station's recovery lines. You're literally paying for gas that is being sucked back into the station's underground reservoir. Worse, that extra fuel saturates your car's charcoal canister, triggering expensive EVAP system repairs that can cost up to $2,500. The engineering rule is simple: stop at the click and never let your tank drop below a quarter, because the fuel itself cools and lubricates your $1,500 fuel pump. So which side are you on? Are you going to keep following the habits the oil companies trained you to have, or are you going to take control of the machine? If you're ready to stop being a victim of the click, drop a comment below. If you're a driver who still believes that idling for 20 minutes is good for the engine, type "I am a victim of the system." But if you've already started checking your tire pressure and stopping at the first click, type "I am an engineer." Let's see how many of you are actually paying attention to the physics and how many are just paying for the marketing. Don't forget to send this to that friend who still has a cargo box on their roof from a trip they took 3 months ago. It's time they stopped throwing their money into the wind. Efficiency is a choice. What's yours?